New Orleans Saints head coach Kellen Moore recaps day 5 of Saints training camp. Ladies and gentlemen, my best friend in the entire world, guy I trust more than anyone. I would die for this guy. Kellen Moore. I take a bullet for him. Similar to the movie First Kid with Sinbad, who I drove to the airport twice. I think at the end of that movie, Sinbad, I don't know. But let's not get into the plot, okay? All right, Kellen. So first padded practice, ladies and gentlemen, all right, is in the books. Little bit of lukewarm talk about the offense. Now, you could also say, well, that means the defense was good. True. Let's hear what Kellen's got to say, shall we?
A couple moves here. Just as we talk through this, we released Josh Ball today. Nothing but the best for him. He's an awesome kid. Fired up for him.
Josh, we wish you the best, brother.
Him, as far as he'll get another opportunity in this league, but those are the challenging parts of this business. And then first day in pads. First day in pads. It's a fun adventure in pads just for these guys. They transition back into it. I thought the intensity, the effort, really, really good. It was a really, really good practice.
Any update on JT?
JT? Yeah, we'll just evaluate it. I don't think anything too bad, but we'll see.
It seemed like there was some more downtime in between sessions today. Was that kind of by design?
We had a little bit extra, we call them TV timeouts just for the water breaks, just to have a little bit more window there. And then we had...
Yeah, it's only about 140 degrees, so you probably got to get some agua. As we say in my Duolingo.
The one-on-ones with the defense and offensive line, we wanted to extend and make sure they got their full allotment. So 7-on-7 ended. We just wanted to extend that a little bit more.
Any group especially brought your attention that's a positive today?
I think it's always fun to see the trenches, the first day of pads. I think our defense line just did a phenomenal job, engaging, beating everyone to the punch. Really.
Yeah, apparently the defensive line went absolutely knuckin' futz. So, hey. Defensive line was a huge issue last year, mostly the interior defensive line, but it sounds like Chase Young and Carl Granderson are doing their thing. I wonder if Seth Walder is going to update his article about Chase Young's $17 million a year contract being a negative. Whoops.
Physical battle between both sides of the football. I thought both sides had some goods and some bads, and that's the beauty of this.
Do you feel like after just after one day, but do you feel like you got a better idea of kind of where you stand with the run game in terms of laying that foundation?
We'll see. There's still an installation process that we're still going through with all the rest of the next week, really. But I thought it was a great foundation. It was a great first day. Again, really physical battle, and that's what we'll need the rest of the way through training camp.
When you see some nice moments from a guy like Marcus Yarns, drafted free agent rookie coming in and trying to vie for a spot, what kind of stands out to you?
Yeah, just great opportunities, and anytime you take advantage of them, more opportunities naturally present yourself, and so I think we'll have a number of guys have those moments throughout this camp.
Were the one-on-ones with the offensive and defensive line, they doubled up? Was that just to foster the competitiveness of it all? I was down 7-on-7, so I didn't see how everything transpired over there. But obviously, we're just trying to get as many reps as we can, try and maximize our time with those guys. And so, we're going to go for that every time.
It's like for Joe Diggs, he's gotten a bit of run in camp. What's kind of addition for him?
Yeah, just...
And no idea what that guy said. He might have been on the roof. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Yeah, really solid player, edge player. We obviously liked him coming in the draft process. We're fortunate to get him late, in the 7th round. For him to still be
We're talking about Fidel Diggs.
Available was really surprising for us, an awesome opportunity. So he's hopped in there. He's done a nice job.
Just on first look, did it appear that Carl Granderson had a good day?
Yes.
Could you talk about
nice
your impressions of him so far?
Yeah, I think our edge rushers, it's just a really good group, and certainly what those guys are doing. Grando's, leading the way in so many ways. His physicality and his play effort stands out each and every day, and so we keep trying to highlight him as much as we can in the team meetings, because if he plays like that, special things are going to happen when everyone else starts playing that way. Now we're rolling.
Yeah, Carl Granderson's about as underrated as it gets on the edge. TBH. Y'all remember this offseason? Do y'all remember how many videos were produced and published, not watched, but by everybody else who was saying, I can't believe we would sign Chase Young to this contract. I can't believe this. What are we thinking? What are we doing? And everyone just forgot that edge is becoming one of the most competitive, expensive markets, and for a 25-year-old former second overall pick who was pretty good last year, to sign him on a relatively average deal puts him in that 12th to 15 world of edge rushers, a high upside situation. I mean, it's just unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. It really is sometimes.
Saying how much you like watching Khalil Mack. Does that make Anderson the Joey Bosa in this comparison?
I don't know. That's just a personal preference maybe for Chase. But yeah, those guys obviously we feel great about them.
Carl's spoken pretty openly.
Okay, sorry.
Khalil Mack, trivia. A lot of people say, hey, I like when you do trivia. Khalil Mack, what college did he go to? 5 seconds. 1, 2. Type in the comments. 2, 3, 4, 5. Buffalo.
Sorry, following up on JT Gray, can you say what the injury was or what?
Yeah, it's just a lower deal, and so they'll evaluate it, they'll figure it out, and I'll update you tomorrow once we get the clear plan of action.
JT Gray is how I was going to do it. Is how dogs see in sync, colorblind in sync, Justin Timberlake kind of joke, but I bailed on it. It honestly makes me kind of sick that I even paused the video for this. I hope my editor edits this out. If he doesn't, it's another intern fired.
For Granderson, he's talked in press conferences and things like that before about trying to find more consistency. It's felt like he started hot and finished hot, but kind of stuff in between. What are some of the things that you all can do in this new system and with your new approaches to help him be able to achieve that?
Yeah, I think certainly he's going to be able to play with some air out there and some wider techniques, certainly more often probably than in the past, and that's just the way different schemes present different opportunities. And so him playing out in space is going to be huge, but at the same time he's still got to collapse the pocket. He's still got to close space in the run game, and that's all about physicality and effort. And so if he keeps doing this, keeps being consistent like this, he'll have a really special season.
Him playing out in space, is it something y'all almost had to go back to kind of college to find, or were you able to find that a little bit?
Yeah, no, there's certainly plenty of examples of that, and it's just when you're in a 3-4, there's a little bit more structure, a little bit, 3 bigger guys inside, so you're more in that contained criteria there when you're playing a little bit wider outside.
Obviously, Blackmon is someone who just got here. But how much?
Julian Blackmon is the topic that this guy's asking the question about.
Yeah, Julian's been awesome.
Yeah, apparently he's been really good. Respect.
Really special to see a guy who just hops in here. Literally the first day he showed up, he's already in team, taking reps, taking advantage of opportunities. He had a nice pick here yesterday in the red zone, which was really more of a spectacular play than anything about the thrower or the receiver. He just made a really spectacular play, and so obviously we feel fortunate that he was available this late in the process, and he'll be a big part of this thing.
Kellen, Devon Godchaux's power is hard to miss out there. When you guys switch to the scheme that Brandon wants to run, did you go through a list of potential nose tackles, or was there something special about him that was on your radar?
Yeah, certainly we went through just the discussion of what the criteria is by position and kind of detail that out. We felt like we do have some good guys here who are still in place that can play that role really, really.
Now listen, this part's important, okay? It is important to see how the players whom have been identified by Kellen and Brandon to meet this criteria, if they have success, then that means that Kellen and Brandon are having success at identifying the right players. A la Sean Payton, who could identify the players and all of a sudden he finds the diamonds in the rough, boom, they become stars, whatever. That's what you want. You want to see their handpicked guys. The guys who they brought in for a very specific reason, like Godchaux. Brought him in for a very specific reason. Can he succeed doing what they asked him to do? If yes, that's good for our free agent classes moving forward. That's good for our draft process moving forward. It's good for player eval moving forward. Player eval is very, very important when it comes to roster building, especially if you want to roster build on the cheap.
Well, certainly Godchaux's one of the premier players in this league as far as playing one of those interior run-stopping spots. And so, we felt, we played New England. Every time we played New England, it felt like it was a battle to get anything going inside because of him. And so we were fortunate to get him.
Do you recall the conversation that he brought up during his introductory press conference between you and Brandon Staley and talking about?
I don't.
He said something about being in the trip to take on the Patriots, about y'all having a conversation about how, hey, we're not going to be able to run with
yeah.
the middle or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Talked every day about it.
So what's that tell you? What's that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? What can you glean from that? That they got Godchaux to do one thing, be a disruptor, interior, run defense kind of guy, which means he'll probably rotate and play on what they assume are running downs. Now we're starting to see this rotation. Now we're starting to see this roster develop a little bit. who's going to make the roster, who's going to be the rotation, who's doing what. These are the little bitty golden tidbits that you got to listen to help yourself figure out, okay, this is the plan. This is the vision.
The emphasis on recovery and injury prevention with Bruce and Rashid specifically coming off the injury, seeing them with the 2s and 3s at a time. What's the plan for those guys?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing this early in the training camp process is just trying to rotate these guys as much as we can and get different guys, different opportunities. And so, maybe a little bit different than some places like, Sheed and, CO, they're going to maybe take a rep with a 2 or a 3 group. Doesn't mean anything for anyone. We're just rotating these guys as much as we can, give them different opportunities. And as it progresses, you narrow your focus a little bit more. But
for the most part, I'll let him keep going.
It's been good.
For the most part, I think the whole first team, second team, third team reps, all that stuff is just wildly overvalued and overplayed. And who really cares? Like, it's all about getting, it's all about making the most out of the opportunity and situation you get. None of that really matters until we get closer to the regular season. We are still in day 5, or when you're seeing this, day 6 of training camp. So just because someone's running with the 1, 2, or 3s, like, it really doesn't matter. Now, if we're a week out from the regular season and Jake Hayner's taking third team reps, okay. That, probably figure out where he is. But as of right now, I don't think it matters at all who's taking the reps with who.
We saw the ball on the ground a decent bit today, some punch outs. Is that something where you focus your time with the offense, or you applaud the defense? Like, how do you?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's always one's good, one's bad. You get to play in the middle of those two things, and so defense did a phenomenal job. A couple of them are kind of late in the process, which is a good training for the defense, but also the offensive ball carriers. Even as you're late in the process in the pile, it takes that second, third man in to come in and take a shot at the ball.
In running the same drills, it appears Tyler Shuck sort of lets it rip less than the other guys do, that he's pulled it down more and checked down more. Do you find that, and has the way he's progressed been okay? Is risk averse okay at this point?
No, I think Tyler's done a nice job. He's communicating at a really high level. He's making good decisions. As we go through, we'll just continue to evaluate each and every day. These guys will grow every day, and every opportunity, especially for Tyler, being his first time rookie year training camp. Every day there's new install, new material that maybe is a first time for him, and so he's going through that process. I think he's done an excellent job.
Kellen, with more happening outside of the pocket and people wanting quarterbacks to extend plays, is the way time to throw, is the evaluation of that changed over the years as the game's evolved?
Yeah, certainly there is some extended plays that happen. Certainly in Philly, Jalen was going to extend a lot of plays, and so technically that number was always going to be high, no matter what you did in Philly, just because he had that ability and he made some big time plays off schedule, and so it's something to always keep an eye on.
So we did a video on Caleb Williams earlier this week. Shout out to all the Bears fans who watched it and received it well. There is a lot, and it is kind of the danger in today's day and age of just pure data and so many metrics and so many analytics or whatever. There is a danger in, certain number bad, certain number good. There is a certain danger in, where is the break point of extending the play that is bad and good? And yeah, on an individual basis, it's impossible to say what's good or bad. Patrick Mahomes extending the play for 11 seconds or something in a Super Bowl on a 3rd and 15. It's okay, it has to happen, right? But there is a marriage of extending the play, all right, which is your time to throw, okay, that metric, or time in the pocket or whatever. And then there's a metric of pressure to sack rate, all right, which that usually goes up the longer you hold on to the ball. And then there's another metric for how well you evade pressure. You need all those to be together. You can't have, in Caleb Williams' situation, his time to throw is really high. His pressure to sack rate is also really high. His ability to evade sacks is low. That's not good. Lamar Jackson, the opposite, right? His evasive sack metrics are up. His pressure to sack rate is low. And his time to throw can be high because he extends plays. It all works together. It's all a big orchestra. So it's not as simple as any one metric. So if you see a quarterback, extending plays and all that, just remember there's usually a lot more that goes into it than just how long he's holding on to the ball.
When you're looking at like 7-on-7, shouldn't the ball
But I would say in general, I think holding on to the ball is bad.
always come out considering no pass rush and not scrambling around?
We'll see. Obviously, we'd love to be on time and all that good stuff. A couple of those defense did a nice job, and we do really encourage the scramble drill just because it comes up so much in our league. It's kind of something that Mike brought from Green Bay when I was in Dallas. Just Aaron, you're playing in scramble drill so many times, 30% of every play, and so that is the second part of a play, and we really emphasize that is a live action. We are trying to make an explosive play on offense, and our defense has to plaster, is what we call it, and really match everyone out. And so it is an important part of still 7-on-7.
When you have an offensive line that, in some cases maybe a new player, in other cases a player in a new position, when they first start to do real blocking, what is your expectation of what you're going to see, and how did that compare to what you saw?
Yeah. It's first day pads. Everyone's going to have some good, some that they want to improve on or get back. And I thought our guys did a nice job. It's every day, the pad level, the physicality, the finish, all those things are just going to keep going. And so it's a good start, but we know we're nowhere close to where we need to be.
Day one, guys. Day one. I'm seeing a lot of, every day I'm starting to see the yo-yo. Where one day it's like, damn, we're the worst team of all time. Next day, we're the best team of all time. Next day, our quarterbacks suck. Next day, they're Hall of Famers. It's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. This is going to be a long process. We got a lot of time. All right, we are a week from Sunday is our first preseason game. And then we got a couple more after that. All right, so this is a process. Enjoy the journey. We don't have to chart and have a thesis after every practice. There's going to be good. There's going to be bad.
Tempo, is it harder to run it when you're behind, outside the obvious 2-minute you're chasing, to come back?
To use tempo?
Yeah.
Certainly if you're in the flow and you're progressing positively, it's naturally a lot easier to stay within a no-huddle system. If you get stalled out or pushed back, it's a little bit more tricky. Part of the tempo challenge is you don't want to just go 3 and out and be on the field for 30 seconds and your defense is back on the field. That's not ideal for anyone. So there's ebbs and flows to it, for sure.
This reminds me of my college football 26 dynasty, where I always, when I get behind, it throws my tempo completely off as a play caller. And that all of a sudden it can snowball. All of a sudden I'm going 3 and out. All of a sudden my defense is giving up points. All of a sudden I'm down 21 and the game's over. I can't run the football anymore. I can't dink and dunk down the field. Now I got to start taking shots. My players aren't good enough. By the way, go check it out. College Football 26 Dynasty over on the gaming channel.
Is it just like a feel thing, or?
Yeah, we'll define it going into a game. Sometimes it's by drive or sometimes it's by situation. Once you've earned a first down or you get into a certain territory of the field, you may activate no huddle, and guys can kind of anticipate when that's coming.
When you're baking downtime into the schedule, is that specifically that you want players to use that time for recovery? And have you been encouraged by players?
Yeah, the number one objective obviously is the recovery component of it. We have the coolers out here, which our guys can hop into. Hydration, towels, all the good stuff. Our training group and sports performance do an awesome job just getting these guys ready to roll there. And then the other part is just there are TV timeouts in games.
I went to the pool. I had a pool day on Sunday, and I spent about 7 hours poolside. And I had some technology as well, some cooling technology to keep me recovered. That technology was 16 Michelob Ultras.
It's real, and so there is a component you have to train your body to sit there for 2 or 3, 4 minutes, kind of, bring it back down, and you got to bring yourself back up for the next period. And so it is creating a game-like environment as well.
Even in the schedule, though.
Yeah.
How do you evaluate Spencer and Jake today? I know you talked about Shep, but considering they've had game time reps.
Yeah, those guys done a nice job. Spencer's really decisive, plays confident. He gets the ball out. He's done a nice job, and Jake's done a lot of the same stuff. I think these guys, they've played a little bit more football over the last couple of years, and so their experience, obviously, they can lean on, and they're doing a nice job.
Even in the downtime of Eric was saying yesterday that they had you guys had a break until 1:30, and he was trying to take advantage that. Kind of asking what Luke did. That's kind of the goal is for players to take advantage of.
Yeah, there'll be a break within the day. Naturally, our next thing is at 1:30 during the day where we'll review practice, and so this gives everyone a chance to go through the recovery process, go through lunch, do everything they can, create their own routines, and then we'll be back at it for the afternoon.
I love them. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting real damn close. I'll tell you that right now. We are getting close. I've said this before. Do what you got to do. You want to watch a TV show? You want to watch some Netflix? Do it now. Because once this thing starts, it's all football all the time. All right, I just gave myself goosebumps. Get ready. Get ready. Tell your loved ones, whatever you got to tell them now. Friends and family, do what you got to do now. Go to Shoney's, whatever. Because pretty soon, you're going to be any time for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Get on down in them comments. Let me know what you think. And get on over to the store. Buy you a shirt, buy you a mug. Why not? All right. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next video.